Two of our own circle accepted crypto for information 2 weeks ago. When she canceled this week's shows, the orders updated immediately. Mobile kill box.
All right, so we're going to get right into this thing. There's going to be a lot to cover in this video. So if you guys have not seen this yet, there has been a reported French foreign legionnaire who has come forward. This is somebody who says that he's been doing jobs, assassinating people for, however long, a long time. And he's coming forward to whistleblow on what is expected to happen to Candace and that what the hit team is supposed to do that is in country right now and what he is suggesting for her to protect herself. And as much as I'm not really sure what's going on here, dude. It's funny. It's like the people who are like, who love Candace, they think I'm hating on Candace. I'm like, what show have you been watching? You think I'm hating on Candace? And then on the other side, the people who are hating on Candace think I'm defending her all the time. And I'm like, guys, I've made no secret of this. I love watching Candace. I think Candace is a badass. It doesn't mean I think she's right every single time she says something. And how on earth would I possibly know what's real and what's not when it comes to this threat? But I'll tell you right now.
That's exactly what I was saying. Yo, thank you for being here. Shout out to this man for this video. Comment below, like, subscribe, dislike, whatever you got to do. So what I always said about these videos that I make about Candace, I always say to people, I stand for the truth. You get what I'm saying? I stand for the truth. If Candace happens to be telling the truth, which she kind of does, most of the time she kind of does, and then I support it. I support what she's saying. When she's not saying something that is accurate, that I know that is all I think, but I don't just go by what I think. I go by what I know. If I think, I would tell you that I think, but what I know is what I would defend. I would defend that, okay, what she's saying here is true. What she's saying here is not true. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes people thinking that, I'm like Candace, like, whoa, let's go. No. Candace talks about politics a lot, but also she says she's a believer. I said you cannot be a believer and be a politician at the same time. It's either believer. It also depends what you mean by believer. You get what I'm saying? When I'm a believer because I serve Yahuwah, and that's it. I do not put myself into politics and telling you to go vote for this person because I do not believe in that. But she does. And she's heavily invested into these things. Same thing with Charlie Kirk. He was saying he's a Christian, that he's a believer, but he's all deep into politics. You cannot serve Yahuwah and the devil at the same time. You're gonna have to serve one. But now this video where they say the assassin or whatever this is, I do not know if this is real. I'm watching this video for the first time, and I'm gonna go ahead and just watch it with you guys if you haven't watched it yet, and I'm gonna give you what I'm thinking. You get what I'm saying? Let's go.
After watching this, I think the threat being, if this is real, this is a threat that's so big that it should, if this actually happened, if this came to pass, if this happened for real, like a lot of people are going to have to die, man. Like a lot. Because this is a crazy story that this guy tells. And then right after we watch that, we're going to go over and we're going to take a look at Timcast IRL, because they actually discussed this on their channel. And I have some thoughts about that because there's a guy on there that's just lighting up Candace. The New York Post lit up Candace, and I expect probably to be defending her a lot. Now, again, and as we watch this first clip, try to imagine you're Candace and someone gives you this tip. They're like, hey, this is what's coming for you, Jesse on Fire, or you, whoever is watching this. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you wouldn't take this seriously? Wouldn't take this seriously, huh? Okay. So anyway, we're going to get into all of that right this second, and I just realized we're almost at the end of the month. And so I just got to tell you guys where I get my bulk kratom is at yokratom.com, $60 kilograms. It's where I've been buying it for, they've been a sponsor of mine for 4.5 years. And I have never stopped promoting them because I love that company and they have great product. Anyway, all right, so let's do this thing and jump into it. Go ahead, subscribe. If you see anything you like, just subscribe to the channel and definitely 100% like this video because you want this to get maximum eyeballs.
To watch our friend die. And then that global gang wanted us to know that you will be next if you don't.
By the way, this is on Mr. Let Go's channel. He did a great job with this video.
Shut up. Like, really, it was supposed to be you.
And you have to consider there's nowhere safe for them in the world. There's nowhere safe for them in the world. There's nowhere safe for them in the world. As we all know, Candace Owens is spinning a lot of suggestions that there's all sorts of conspiracies out there about who killed Charlie, or they're in some sort of murder conspiracy unless you have really strong evidence. We can't keep spinning conspiracy theories without evidence. People are going to get hurt. People are going to get hurt. People are going to get hurt. You never know what can happen to you. You never know what can happen to you.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. First of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
You never know what can happen to you. Statements about Charlie, all lies. And all while they're still getting death threats. And all while they're still getting death threats.
So,
Sorry. Before he says what he's about to say, okay, I want to say something. If everything she's saying is a lie, why is people trying to take her out if what she's saying is just not true? You get what I'm saying? So like something has to be in it. Something has to be in there. It cannot just be like, okay, she's talking all this garbage. We don't care. It's whatever. Then you going in the back, you're trying to take her out. You cannot make sense out of this. And the more we're watching these videos, the more we see these people talking about all these things, and the more we are being convinced that she actually is right. If it ain't so said and so, man. Because it is so much easier to label somebody crazy and just walk away than stopping, pause first, and then actually evaluate the situation and question it, analyze it. What is going on here?
so let me just do the thing that I do as it relates to body language, facial structure, expressions, whatever.
Let's get it.
Okay.
Let's get it.
People who, what's the right way to put this? There are a lot of people in my life where I know they're not going to lie. Like, they're not going to lie to me. You know, if they say something, it's almost certainly what's actually going on. That's just, they're not built for lies. And their faces never make the expression that is right there on Rob McCoy's face. You see the eyebrows? Okay, I can never really fully explain how I do this, you know, because I don't really understand it that well myself.
It's a gift.
But
a gift.
This is a person where literally whatever he says to me, I would be like 50-50 truth lie. Just from that, like literally a still photograph right there, just pause it and look at it the way he's holding his face. I'd be like 50-50, 50-50, you know? Just something to think about.
But they have a plan.
A few moments later.
Rank Colonel DGSE Action Division. For 21 years, I ran black contracts in Africa, Middle East, and yes, sometimes on your soil. Tonight, I break every oath I ever took. 2 days ago, a priority cable landed on my desk. Opération Poignard. Target Candace Owens. Client Unit 8200 liaison embedded inside the Elysee. Payment routed through a shell in Cyprus we have used since the Rainbow Warrior days. The directive is explicit. Quote, eliminate the subject during live broadcast. Maximum visceral impact. The blade must be visible. The audience must feel the cut. They want her open from sternum to pelvis while the red light is on. They want the chat scrolling, no, as they hit the desk. That trauma is the secondary payload. Primary.
First of all, let me just say something real quick, okay? So number one is this is something that immediately popped into my mind when I watched this the first time is that is what they were trying to do in Butler, okay? So in Butler, I'm sure that you guys have probably seen, you know, some segments on mainstream media where the fact that CNN was live streaming that event for the first time ever, right? CNN had never once covered a Trump rally, never. But they were covering that one and live streaming it, okay? And for some reason, that just ended up also being the only event they ever had counter snipers at, which led to the shooter having his brain removed from his skull, right? Can't talk if you don't have a brain inside your head, right? Put your brain on the roof, you can't talk. So a lot of first times over there. And I always said, okay, when you saw the framing of, Trump when he got shot, and then you know what? Let me just say this. The most viewed video I've ever done got 3.7 million views. And it was about Butler, and it was about that woman who popped up immediately. Okay, she was in the front row, right behind the podium. Okay, Trump gets shot, he goes down, and she pops up and is immediately filming so fast, like so fast. He gets shot, and she's just up there like, I am not afraid at all. I have no fear. Here you go. And I take those two things in that incident, right? The fact that CNN was live streaming it, the fact that they were just framed right on his face when he gets shot, and then you also have someone back there who does not seem to be afraid when there are a bunch of bullets flying around, and she is like priority one, not save my own life, film this. And I go, so seems like somebody wanted to make sure everyone saw this person who is the enemy of whatever get their head blown off, right? Like they wanted it exactly like what this guy just said, maximum impact. The primary payload is going to be to us, right? To the people who are watching, the people who supported him. Seeing what happened after the Charlie thing, try to imagine what the reaction would have been on social media had, like, that is the part that when you really think about it, like, that's why this is so scary. Is like, if this is real, regardless, actually, if this is real, they recognize the power of the impact if people see it, right? Now, they tried to do that with Trump. That is exactly what they tried to do. Charlie, he happened to get shot in a very public way that would basically resemble exactly what we're talking about, Now, is that a coincidence? I don't know, right? But I want you to live in the world where Trump was successfully assassinated. Try to imagine living in that version of reality, okay? Because he dies, like, I don't know, who's gonna run, right? Like, there's a high probability that somehow the Dems win, right? So you have Kamala in there. Okay, they don't lose control of any of the power. All the same people who had been running these for 4 years, except now they don't have to worry about an upcoming, Trump, campaign. So they can run ruckshod over the world. And imagine what it would have felt like to watch the entirety of the left celebrate the fact that guy, our guy, got shot and killed on national television. And then there's nothing we could do about it because we talk about it and they just ban us off social media. It would have been. It's a dark place, man. Okay. And in this case, if Candace is live streaming and they take a Bowie knife and they sternum to pelvis while the world is watching, a woman, Candace Owens. Okay. Do you have any idea what kind of trauma that's gonna, like, what that would look like? She's a woman, dude. I know she's a tough chick, but like, she's a woman. You want to watch? Anyway, so let's continue.
My payload is you, the viewers. Break the Americans who still speak again. Make the rest too afraid to open their mouths. The team is already in country. 4 operators, 2 ex-Legion Blade specialists from Corsica, 1 woman involved in the job on that Saudi journalist in Istanbul, and a spotter who was in the crowd in Utah. They have a studio floor plan. They have the shift.
Did they just say a spotter? They said a spotter in Utah. I didn't even catch that the first time. A spotter who was in the crowd in Utah. Okay. So that right there would indicate that this is real. At the very least, that would indicate that this is who the source is for Candace. Okay. Like that right there. I didn't even catch that the first time. But Candace said they were involved in the Charlie shooting. And I don't know who else was, but right there, he said one of the spotters that was in the crowd. Okay. Now here, I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm gonna let him finish, but I'm gonna tell you that I have a very common sense theory of what this also could be. But this makes me pretty confident that this is the source that Candace is going off of. And she's obviously taking it very seriously. Wouldn't you?
I mean, what would you do if this is you? What would you do? I kind of, I'm like watching this video. I would say this, okay? Anybody, I mean, not anybody, but you know what I mean by anybody. Anybody could have made this video. Anybody could have made this video. Because there are people out here that hear these kind of things. Now, they want to stir the pot, right? They want to get people talking. They want to create more, add more gasoline. They want to add more kerosene on the fire kind of thing. So the fire can even get more bigger. And I'm not saying this is not real. What I'm saying is I'm like 50-50 on this. What do you think this is? You've watched the video just like I'm doing it. What do you think?
Change of our security. Two of our own circle accepted crypto for information 2 weeks ago. When she cancelled this week's shows, the orders updated immediately. Mobile kill box. Wherever she surfaces next, whether it's an emergency stream, even a goddamn parking lot live stream, they are planning to be there. I sent her the precaution through a cutout she trusts. Burner rules, no GPS devices, no routines, but she is stubborn. She thinks exposure protects her. It does not. It is the bait. If she goes live again without changing her voice print, without hard encryption, without ditching every person who has been within 10 meters of her in the last month, she is as good as... They will let her speak for 5 minutes, long enough for the bot to boost the clip, then the feed will show exactly what they want the world to see. I am recording this because when they find me, I want there to be a record. This is not rogue. This is policy, signed at the highest level. Tell her, do not trust any American agency that offers protective custody. More than half of them are penetrated. Tell her the only safe move is to disappear completely for 90 days. After that, maybe the war they are planning will make her irrelevant.
So maybe it's real.
Okay, I put it like this, right? Just the fact that he's saying it's gonna be live, okay? He says it's gonna happen live, as if. So when she's recording, as usual, it's gonna happen. I don't believe that. I don't believe that, bro. That's the only part that it throws me off. I do not believe that if she's recording and these people are actually gonna take her out live while she's recording. I do not believe that. There's no way. Boy, no way, boy. Because she can even do this in her kitchen. She can even do this in a basement. She does not have to go in a studio. I mean, I do not know where she records. I'm pretty sure she got a big house, big enough to be able to record with a setup and everything. She does not always have to go to the studios or whatever. You get what I'm saying? So there's no way. She can do this anywhere. She can do this in a hotel room. She can record anywhere. How you gonna take, bro? I mean, man, I don't believe in this. I don't. That part just alone is just kind of too sure. Like, you are too sure of what you're saying. I do not believe it. I say no, man. What do you guys think? I refuse. This is trending, okay? But I do not agree with it. I do not agree with it. What do you guys think, man? It's not what I think. It's not what I do. It's not how I feel. It's what is actually going to happen. But my opinion, I disagree. What is your opinion? Let me know in the comment section. Subscribe. Shout out to this man for this video. Shout out to Candace. Shout out to all the guys. Shout out to whoever made that video. Terrible. Yeah, man, I was born in the gutter. If you good, welcome aboard. If you bad, you ignore. Yeah, man, I was born in the gutter. Now you know that I grew up with a struggle. They even told me I would end up like a zero, but I ended up with a gold medal. Tu fais du bien, ça revient chez toi. Tu fais du mal, ça revient chez toi. Tu fais du bien, ça revient chez toi. Tu fais du mal, ça revient chez toi.